Good evening. Welcome to the joint board meeting, December 13th. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Board members to please introduce themselves, starting from the far right.
John Smith, Board of Finance.
Mike Lamoth, Board of Finance.
Peter Timsowski, Board of Finance.
Orlando Kelfi, Board of Finance.
Calvin Brown, City Council.
Ron Burns, Board of Finance.
Anthony D'Amato, City Council.
Jody Zills-Gagney, City Council.
Cheryl Tebow, Board of Finance.
Mike Ferrini, Board of Finance. Dave Pulaski, City Council.
Dave Bills, City Council.
Jake Carrier, Board of Finance.
Mary Fortier, City Council.
Town Clerk Therese Pack.
Assistant John Lavella.
And Mayor Kim Kane. Item number 1.
Approval of minutes of the regular draft board meeting on November 9th, 2016.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 2.
Is the consent calendar, and there are 4 items. First is to make an additional appropriation of $1,000 within the Special Grants and Donations Fund funded by a donation. 2B is to make an additional appropriation of $7,550 within the General Fund funded by Youth Services Bureau Enhancement Grant. 2C is to transfer $74,090 within the General Fund for the BPSA contract settlement. And 2D is to transfer $5,300 within the Building Department operating budget for overtime repairs and tires.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 3.
To transfer $52,425 from the General Fund Contingency account to operating transfers out special revenue.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 4.
To make an additional appropriation of $209,700 within the Special Grants and Donations Fund funded by a grant of $157,275 and then transfer in of $52,425 for the 2017 Comprehensive DUI Enforcement Grant.
Move it.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 5.
To make an additional appropriation of $296,901 within the Capital Projects Fund funded by grant revenue and a transfer in from the General Fund for Engine 5 renovations.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 6.
To make an additional appropriation of $78,000 within the WPC Capital Non-Recurring Fund for Frederick Street Sanitary Sewer project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 7.
To transfer $308,543 from the General Fund Contingency account to retirement benefits.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 8.
Monthly revenue and expense report.
And Glenn had a prior engagement, so
Yes, I'm here in Glenn's absence. The first thing I wanted to discuss with you is an update on the audit report. It's moving along very well. There's no major issues to report at this time. We're expecting a draft report on December 16th, which is Friday, and then next Thursday, the 22nd, we're expecting to get the final report, which is about a week earlier than last year. Last year it was cutting it too close with the deadline of December 31st, and we actually received it on the 31st, which was a little bit difficult. A couple things Glenn asked me to let you know. The Board of Ed has hired a new business manager. He is going to be starting on February 13th. The reason he was unable to start earlier is because he had a contract with his previous employer, and they had a certain number of days that you had to give notice for when you're terminating. But he has been coming in 1 day per week. He was here last Wednesday, and he also was here today, and he's been working with Glenn and the Board of Ed staff to get up to speed. Regarding special education reporting, Glenn felt there was no need to have Ellen Solik or Mike Dieter attend tonight. He's been monitoring those activities and felt that it would be fine to have them come to the January meeting to do their report. And last, regarding budgets, the departments are busy working on their budgets, and we've been providing them daily guidance and assistance, and they will be turning in their budgets to us by January 20th.
Any questions?
thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Get my hand up.
The
quick
legal?
now. Yes, on the legal expenses, I just wanted to confirm that the way that that report is being given to us, the additional attorney's fees for each month are just a new page every time?
Yes, correct.
Glenn
So the
doesn't-
last page is the new
Correct.
fees
So
that
that's
have
the
been added
only
on.
thing I hadn't seen,
Correct.
without
Everything is-
going page by page and.
Yes, that's
and-
correct.
And so that would mean that we had just the additional expense of the $1,611 to Updike County and Scalise. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
All righty, thank you.
You're welcome.
Just confirm.
Madam Chairman, I have a question about the ongoing costs of the FOI requests. Is there a way that we can get some sort of light shed on the nature of each one of these requests and what has corresponded after each one of these? Because it seems to me that I'm not really sure that we're seeing any results from FOI requests that I'm not sure why they're continuing to come in. I mean, what the motivation is.
I defer to Ed, I'm not sure how you want to handle this.
I hear this almost monthly, and I'm just wondering,
I mean, we
how much
obviously have
longer we
copies of
listen
all the
to this?
invoices. We have copies of all the invoices, I'm not sure how much information the mayor or Cheryl feels we should be, what you would like us to do.
Sorry, I needed to compare notes on, make sure I gave you the correct answer. On the two items, Councilwoman, that are on are both FOI matters. The first one was a earlier complaint filed by Craig Minor that had been wrapped up, and it ultimately was dismissed by the commission, and that just happened this month. The second item
What
was...
was the cost of that one?
Total?
Yeah.
I can go through and add them
Can you-
up for you, it's a
Would
number
you-
of, it's a
thank
number
you.
of charges.
There's a bunch of, if Robin could do that, that would be helpful.
Oh, Park Robin.
The second item was also an FOI request by Craig Minor, and it had to do with your meeting that you had concerning the complaint on the mayor. And that item, Mr. Minor withdrew just the beginning of this week.
Correct, but just for the record, I guess in response to Mr. Lamoff, I'm trying to track attorneys' fees in general, but I'm particularly trying to track ones that are related to the complaint filed against the mayor. So FOIing something related to the FOI commission that had to do with meetings about that complaint, that's why I just mentioned that one tonight.
Well, I understand, but, I mean, from my own perspective, I'm not a political person. You know, I realize I'm a registered Democrat here in town, but anyone who knows me knows I couldn't give a hoot. If it doesn't make sense, I'm not going to go for it. And the question of the FOI requests about the mayor have gone back a number of meetings, and it's you know, it seems to be a cost accumulator, and I'm just wondering to what effect or what end are we going with that? You know, I mean, because by our attorney's own admission, it seems as though the last two amounted to nothing. And I just don't know what we're wasting taxpayers' dollars on, that's all.
Well, certainly Corporation Counsel can speak to how attorneys' fees are allocated, you know, what we hire attorneys for. But I think when someone files an FOI request and/or goes to the FOI commission, we have to defend the city. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I understand, but at
That's
some
just the
point,
basic answer to that
aren't
question.
some of these somewhat frivolous, and thus being that way, I mean, are we to entertain every single one that comes up?
Well, it's not our choice, is I guess what I'm
Okay,
saying.
well, that's
It's like,
what I'm asking.
it's similar to being sued. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you have to at least respond to it no matter, and again, I'm not trying to speak for the city, I'm just trying to give you a basic
Well,
understanding.
that's why I'm asking, because I'm hearing these things come up, and at some point, it makes me wonder, why do these costs continue to be a subject matter at these meetings?
I don't know exactly how much info you want. These items were all referred out outside because of the, potential conflict that our office has. However, I can tell you that in both of those files, we instructed and had lengthy discussions very early on in the matters with the outside counsel. Motions to dismiss in both of those matters were filed very early and were objected to by the person who filed the complaint. And that's what caused these two matters to continue to go on. And as I said, the first one was dismissed by the panel, and the second one was withdrawn by the complainant this week.
So through the chair, Ed,
I'm sorry.
can I just clarify, Mr. Minor, after we incurred legal fees, you filed a FOI complaint, and then after legal fees are incurred, withdrew it. And so it stops completely?
On the second matter that's on the list that I just saw,
Mhm.
on that matter, motions to withdraw were filed very early on, or dismissed. And on the first matter, the same thing applied. The first matter went all the way to the commission, and the commission dismissed. On the second matter, they had a hearing last Thursday, I think was the last conversation I had with Attorney King. And at that meeting, there was open discussion with the panel and the hearing officers, and they were instructed to go back and start drafting post-hearing briefs, and by the time Monday rolled around, the matter had been withdrawn by the
So we
complainant.
incurred legal fees,
Of course.
and then the person
Of course.
withdrew.
Of course.
Robin, do you have a ballpark
Thank you.
number for those?
It was 26,673. I don't know what the two that he mentioned, which is which, but they're both identified as.
All right, thank you. Anything else? All right. Anything else for Robin? Thank you, Robin.
Okay.
Any other business? Motion to adjourn. Motion made second. Council meeting in 4 minutes.